A sofa brand is looking for a professional napper and will pay 10 grand to rest and digest for the summer. Finally, a job that I'm qualified for, said one man. No. True, his qualifications include previously being laid to rest. All right, it was unnecessary. Earlier today, a jury was sworn in for the trial of Sean Diddy Combs. Apparently, they took an oath while placing their right hand on the ass of an unconscious male escort. Oh, you like that one? I can't figure you people out. Finally, federal judges say unsolicited pizza deliveries to their homes are meant to intimidate them. In a related story, guess who wants to be a federal judge? Did that make sense? Okay. All right, monologue time. So right now, the Dems are the Charlie Sheen of politics, the junkie who realizes everyone was right. I got a serious problem and I need help. Take the Dems' resident twerp, DNC Vice Chair David Hogg, who actually said something true on Bill Maher.
Younger men, they would rather vote for somebody who, even if they don't completely agree with, they don't feel judged by, than somebody who they do agree with, that they feel like they have to walk on eggshells around constantly because they're going to be judged or ostracized or excommunicated. Ultimately, what we have to do here is figure out how to bring people back in and work towards the bigger goal of advancing the future of this country. Young people should be able to focus on what young people should be focused on, which is how to get laid and how to go and have fun.
Yeah. I like how he said get laid and have fun. Like the two are mutually exclusive. Although a lover who votes Democrat must be kind of a bummer. She won't let you sleep with her until you admit women should vote. Not gonna happen. But even the loudest, most annoying voices in the party are chiming in. Here's Jasmine Crockett auditioning for a job at Frontier Air. I bet there's a lot of people who are like, oh, let's go find the safest white boy we can find.
There's a lot of people that are like, you know what? Like, let's go find the safest white boy we can find. I mean, I'm just saying. No, for real.
A white man's got to do it. We're getting those callers.
For real. And to be clear, when we talk about them, I can tell you that there is one specific candidate. I had a donor on the phones with me telling me that all the donors are lining up behind that candidate. So I can tell, and I can tell you, it's not a black person nor woman.
Thanks, darling. The money's on the dresser. So now, I don't know what that means either. So now the left knows they must change. Some already are. Do you remember this lady? That's Stephanie Ruhle before Trump. Cute. This is her now. Who does she remind you of? I know. If I were Rachel, I'd be kind of worried. It reminds me of that stalker movie, Single White Female, except it's single white male. But what does this tell you? With Trump ruling the road of common sense, the Dems can only move more left. Ruhle wasn't always a left-wing scold. She spent 14 years in finance. Now she's mostly worried about the price of cats. Because she's, My guess is Jen Psaki's next. By the second episode of her new show, ratings in the key demo, people 24 to 54 plunged, with 65,000 in the entire country tuning in. I could get that many reading Kilmeade's book on my OnlyFans. So how long before Jen Psaki goes from this to this? Because the Dems, they can't return to normal. On Friday, 3 Democrats stormed an ICE facility in Newark. Even the city's lefty mayor was arrested. I guess he knows that jail is safer than the streets of Newark. But these are the responses to Trump: theater, outrage, screaming. No wonder Dems have decided they need ideas. But first, they need ideas on coming up with ideas. And then you're gonna need ideas for that too. Ideas that would lead them to ideas, that would help them figure out ideas to create ideas. It's an infinite regress, with each move depending on a precursor. There's no bottom to their problem, Because a bottom needs a floor, a foundational set of first principles. That would mean you have to say there's a culture with norms and traditions, rights and wrongs. But the Dems are that elevator shaft with no elevator in it. Whatever idea they have immediately falls 60 stories into the abyss. Now, we have a bottom that's easy to express. Law and order, safety and security, free markets based on a fair share of transfer of commodities. It's simple. I did that in 30 seconds. I didn't even have to look up from my online kangaroo porn. But if you lack foundational principles, you're screwed. Sadly, the Dems embraced a mind virus that deemed such principles oppressive. And now, without the foundation, they're trying to build a house on quicksand. And any crackpot idea can take hold. How did trans hysteria find root in their party? How did squatting and mass theft become acceptable? Why did the Dems circle their wagons around a gangbanger? How did Hamas become sympathetic? How did minor attracted persons stop meaning you wanted to bang coal miners? Look at how climate change just disappeared, like the ice caps were supposed to 30 years ago. I guess when you say the planet's going to expire in 5 years, where do you go next? Blocking traffic? Destroying paintings? Calling the patron saint of electric cars Hitler? How do you go further left on no cash bail, open borders, men and women's bathrooms? It's like Howard Stern's shock comedy. Eventually you run out and turn gay. They've gone so far in the wrong direction, they've lost America. Of course, they could claw their way back to the middle, but it also means sharing the road that Trump owns. Common sense. But first, the Dems must find their bottom. Too bad their heads are stuck inside it.
Let's welcome tonight.
Yes! He's used to people walking out of his acts and his marriage. Actor, writer, comedian Jamie Lissow. He solves problems the old-fashioned way with physical violence. MMA star Colby Covington. She sometimes stops in mid-sentence to let her fillings cool. Outnumbered co-host Emily Campagna. And he used a whole book of stamps sending out Mother's Day cards. New York Times bestselling author, comedian, and former NWA World Champion terrorist. Jamie, you've hit rock bottom. Some say many times.
Yeah, I remember once I thought it was rock bottom, and I was like, nope, you can go lower.
Yes. It feels like the Dems are at their rock bottom.
It does.
Can they get, what would you tell them to do at this point?
I would say just quit while you're behind.
Yes.
Can I just stop for a second? During the monologue, did you say kangaroo porn?
Yes.
Just want to make sure. It makes sense now, because I remember a while ago, I go, what type of porn do you like? And you go, whatever jumps out at me. Did I ever tell you?
I love how you had that whole setup there.
Yeah.
It's like, where's he going with it?
Yeah. My ex-wife wanted to film a porn once. She goes, you could be the pizza guy. And I go, that's cool. So I deliver the pizza and we get frisky. And she goes, no. After I have sex with that guy on camera, we're going to be hungry. That ice video is lunacy. They've lost their mind, and I honestly kind of believe. I don't know what could possibly bring them out of this rut. That ice video. In the video, I don't know if what I read said there was like a dude. I don't know if he was a congressman or something. He body slammed a female ice agent. Like, what are they doing? I haven't seen a man abuse a woman like that since the Paris Olympics.
That's what you call a callback. Colby, welcome to the show. We ask this question almost every night. Why are the Dems losing men? You're in the MMA. Yeah. I'm sure you have an opinion on this.
I mean, they're just a bunch of betas, you know, and they don't like alpha men. They don't like toxic masculinity anymore. They want to demasculize men, and it's not right. That's why, you know, a lot of the alpha males are leaving the Dem party.
Yeah, it's not just the alphas, though. Most men are.
Yeah.
I mean, Jamie left. He's not an alpha male. He's more... You're more like Zeta.
Yeah, Gamma. I was thinking,
Gamma,
what's that?
maybe Gamma.
He's an assistant to the assistant alpha male. It's my dog.
Is there any way could you see like guys returning to the party?
No. They've gone so far lunatic left that there's no returning. The DEI circus stuff that they're parading around and trying to rally behind is just, it's unacceptable, and it's anti-American, and that's why no alpha male will ever return to that beta party.
The beta party. The master beta party. Emily, they're struggling for ideas, but to have ideas, you got to have some basic principles. And I'm trying to think, what is the basic principle of the modern Democrat Party? And I can only think of power. That they see everything through the prism of power, like that's what identity politics was. If you are of this intersectionality, you have more power than this person. Yeah. Is there any other principle? I don't know what other principle there is.
I agree, because it's application. I would say, yes, control. And then the application of that, their strategy is resist. Now, I was on the West Coast this weekend, and someone had Someone had a huge chalkboard as their garage door, so people walking by could make art. And of course, there was someone that wrote a huge resist. And then people after that said, who and what and how? And that's exactly the question that these Dems aren't answering. So, for example, all of those lawmakers, and by the way, that was a female lawmaker that body slammed. Like, I know that it's easy to confuse, but yeah, exactly. Like,
what do they identify as?
I mean,
she's fat, so I assume it's a they.
Totally. But the whole point is that they're provoking, right? They provoke to get arrested, so they have that notch on their belts. But then they cry that it's a dictatorship, because who else would actually arrest lawmakers? And the irony that I find hilarious is that they actually have oversight. And I said, if you guys had just requested a tour,
they could have had a tour.
Yeah, doors are open for you anytime. But when you break in and you body slam ICE agents, then your ass is going to get arrested, because mess around and find out. And it reminded me of when we covered the Burning Man protests, the shock of the protesters who were sleeping on the freeway at being like removed forced, like, he touched me. Yeah, what do you think is going to happen? The consequences are real. So right now, all they're doing is having a tantrum to try to claw back that control that you talked about.
Tyrus, they could have had a tour, but they wouldn't have got the press.
They didn't come for no damn tour. They came for exactly that. We're going to do some dumb the people who could lose their jobs are not going to risk their jobs, so they can be the toughest guy in the room because they know security's not going to hurt them. So it's just more. Listen, this whole, even that stupid interview with the metrosexual DNC guy, that
David
Hobbs or whatever.
Isn't it funny?
Who said, no, he's not funny. And I was like, I couldn't believe he's not. It's a joke. You mean to tell me, because you would like that, to where the only thing that young people are thinking about is getting laid and have fun. Well, that goes against everything that America's about. You just work your ass off, you get to a point. Fellas, once you get the whip in a little pocket in your ATM, you get laid a lot.
Yes.
Okay?
You're absolutely right.
So it just goes back.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. He missed the whole boat. I guess what he's trying to say is, I'm tired of these women telling us, he's saying, well, you know what, why don't you beat a man?
Beat man up. But that's not the only way this works. And this is a lot like someone trying to give dating tips to a cat lady.
Yes.
Okay? It took a long time for her to get there.
Yeah.
Okay? It's not one thing that's going to get her out. You feel where I'm going here?
Yes.
The Democratic Party, the only way it works is mass resignations.
Yes.
You have to get rid of all of them, her, him included.
Yes.
They're not, because they're fake. They are part of the problem. They all benefited during the 4 years of shadow government. They're the shadow government posing as Democrats. The only way is for all of them, one, confess their crimes and leave and never come back to government again. They won't do that, so they come out with stupid ass like on Bill Maher's dumbass show going, well, all we have to do is convince guys that we're not assholes. It's not going to happen. Doesn't matter how you do it, how you change it. They're corrupt. America sees it. There's only one way, a massive clean out. And they're not willing to let go of power.
All right. Let's move on. Up next, Trump notches more wins.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.